بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين وبعد. When we go for Umrah, one of the interesting and beautiful sights that you'll notice is that everyone is dressed the same, wearing two pieces of garment, the ihram. And one of the benefits of dressing like this is it teaches us that apart from our standing before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, no one person is better than another simply because of their language, their education, their financial status, the color of their skin, which family they're from. These different criteria are all meaningless when we're in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In a very similar fashion, like we go to the main house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whenever we come to the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the form of a masjid, we should have a very similar attitude. That I could be the head of my department at a university, I could be a CEO of a billion-dollar company, I could be just another basic worker, I can be an ordinary person, it's irrelevant. When I walk inside of the masjid and I say, Allahumma aftahli abwaba rahmatik, I'm putting behind me all of my, posturing, my status. It doesn't matter. Because when I'm in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, all that matters is my standing in front of Allah. And this is not something that we point a finger at anyone else, it's for me to think about. Let's say, for instance, I'm a very educated person, I'm making millions, I have a very good home, I have a very good car. When I get out of my car and I come into the masjid, never should the thought come to my mind that, oh, you see that person, oh, look what car he's driving, or look what home he has, or look what language this person speaks. That's all irrelevant. In front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that person could be better than me. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he says, مَنْ تَوَاضَعَ لِلَّهِ رَفَعَهُ اللَّهِ. That whoever humbles themselves in front of Allah, Allah will elevate their status. Sometimes with our words, we never say this. Sometimes with our words, we never say this. When was the last time you'll see somebody walk inside and say, hey, everybody, I'm a very wealthy person, or I'm a very educated person, so respect me. It's not what we verbally say, it's the signals and the cues and the way we interact with people that's important. Am I looking down on someone? Am I sidelining someone? Am I making someone feel worthless just because they're not on the same level as me? Yes, when we go back into the world, we have our hierarchies, we have our roles and responsibilities. If I'm a boss and this person works for me, that's perfectly fine. But when we come into the masjid, let's put all these roles and responsibilities away and learn how we can work together. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he says so beautifully, Sayyidul qawmi khadimuhum. That if you want to be a true leader in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you don't gauge your worth by how influential you are. You gauge your worth by how much service you do to other people. So if I'm a leader, if I'm an influencer, if I'm somebody very important, it's not about how many people open the door for me, it's about how many people I open the door for them. Sometimes you'll walk outside and somebody will open the door and say, Hazrat, please come through. And you'll think to yourself, wow, you know what, I must be somebody special. Somebody's opening the door for me. But in the sight of Allah and in the hadith, we learn that the true influential person is not the one walking through the door, it's the person holding the door for that person. Whereas anywhere else, if let's say for instance, you see an influential millionaire come and the limo driver walks out from the front, he opens the door and he said, please come outside, you'll think, wow, I wonder who this person is. You will never say that the limo driver is the more influential person. But when it comes to the house of Allah or it comes anywhere else, Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, Sayyidul qawmi khadimuhum. The influential person is not the one walking through the door, it's the one holding the door, straightening the shoes, because whoever humbles themselves is more important in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah grant us humility. May Allah allow us to serve other people and understand the value in that. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. Inshallah, after the remaining sunan, we'll have our weekly hadith session. Everyone is requested to participate. Jazakumullah.